Waking up the morning after a Category 4 storm hits the Gulf Coast is a brutal reality check. You look out the window. Your neighbor's pool cage is a tangled mess of shredded aluminum in the yard, while the one across the street hasn't dropped a single beam. Specific engineering choices, often invisible once the structure is finished, determine which of these cages survives and which one collapses when the wind speeds climb. Prioritizing the visual appeal of a backyard over its structural foundation guarantees that your enclosure will act as a massive sail, becoming a severe financial and physical liability the moment the barometric pressure drops. Even on a calm day, the Naples environment is aggressively dismantling outdoor structures. Coastal salt air causes rapid corrosion, high humidity breeds mold, and UV exposure degrades weak materials. But the ultimate test comes during storm season. These structures are legally required to withstand winds up to 160 miles per hour. This creates a difficult tension for homeowners. There is a constant temptation to accept lower bids and cut upfront costs, but the Florida Building Code is entirely unforgiving of cheap materials. Securing your property means getting 4 specific structural decisions right on the very first attempt. Trying to bypass strict Collier County building codes to save a small percentage of your initial budget practically guarantees you will pay massive replacement costs after the first major storm makes landfall. The first decision is the foundation. It is incredibly tempting to bolt a new pool cage directly over a layer of existing standard decorative pavers to save on concrete work. The trade-off is immediate. Standard pavers lack the weight and depth to hold an anchor. When high winds hit, the enclosure simply rips those pavers right out of the dirt, leading to a total collapse. To pass a Collier County inspection, a properly engineered concrete footer is absolutely mandatory. It provides the heavy mass required to safely tie down the aluminum frame. That foundation then requires a defense system of its own, the gutters. The roof of a large pool cage collects massive amounts of water that needs an immediate exit route. If those gutters are poorly integrated, they fail to divert the runoff. That water pools around the base, eroding the soil under the concrete, degrading the patio, and causing persistent structural leaks. A solid concrete base paired with a high-capacity water diversion system forms the literal bedrock required for any serious storm survival strategy. Once the base is poured, the second decision is selecting the fasteners that hold the entire aluminum frame together. Standard galvanized steel bolts are cheap and widely used by budget contractors, but they are highly vulnerable in the Naples coastal air. Galvanized hardware rusts rapidly, weakening the joints and cutting the cage's lifespan. For the Gulf Coast, stainless steel hardware is non-negotiable. Securing those stainless steel bolts to the concrete requires a specific tie-down method known as a chemical anchor. This cross-section illustration highlights the mechanical advantage. Instead of a standard friction bolt, a hardening resin compound is pumped into the drill hole before the bolt is inserted. That compound cures and perfectly seals all the internal cavities, permanently eliminating any anchor movement or pull-out risk under heavy wind loads. From there, the building code requires lateral wind resistance, achieved by integrating diagonal K-braces and high-tension support cables into the walls and roof. These premium, invisible hardware choices lock a collection of loose aluminum beams together into a single, immovable monolith. The third decision centers on screen mesh, an environmental defense layer engineered to withstand specific wind loads and coastal exposure. The baseline option is regular 1814 fiberglass screen. It delivers standard protection and decent airflow at the most affordable price point. Upgrading to a no-CM 2020 screen introduces a distinct trade-off. The tighter weave blocks microscopic biting insects, but you sacrifice a small percentage of your breeze to get it. This decision tree flowchart shows how needs dictate materials. For high wind areas or large architectural spans, the required route is Superscreen 1614 or 1720, which features massive tensile strength to resist tearing. Following the privacy route leads to Florida glass. This opaque vinyl screen placed on lower panels blocks views and ground-level splash. However, there is a critical warning. Despite blocking water at the base, Florida glass cannot be utilized as a solid roofing material overhead. Matching the exact tensile strength and weave of your mesh to the specific coastal exposure of your property prevents premature panel blowouts when storm season arrives. Every enclosure in Naples must function as an engineered protective barrier, meeting the rigid structural requirements of the Florida Building Code. It is very easy to find a builder who can make aluminum look good for a single year. Finding a contractor who actually engineers for 160-mile-per-hour survival is much harder. Screen Factory Florida operates as the benchmark for this rigorous level of invisible engineering. The objective data backs up that authority. They carry a 4.9 average rating, an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, and a portfolio of over 2,400 completed projects. They also maintain a strict operational advantage by managing the highly complex Collier County permitting process entirely in-house. Choosing a contractor with an established, proven record of passing these stringent local inspections is the ultimate financial risk mitigation for any homeowner. That peace of mind begins before construction even starts, with a free 3D design mapping the exact enclosure directly to your property's dimensions. The final layer of protection is their warranty coverage: 10 years on the aluminum framing, 5 years on the screen, and 365 days on the labor. Secure your property correctly on the first attempt. Click the link in the description to schedule a free on-site consultation. Investing in verified Florida Building Code compliant engineering is the only definitive way to protect your home and preserve your outdoor lifestyle.